Bitcoin on the weekly chart. Today's video, we're going to be doing something slightly different, something I don't often do, speculation. Generally, speculation is quite useless, but here we go. And just for relative entertainment purposes, remember this is just my opinion and should not be taken as financial advice. So let's get right to it. The weekly chart, what to look for all the way from now until 2024. My evidence to back up each of these levels, and we'll address each and every one of these lines and boxes on here. Looking at 2024, right, we've marked this green line way out here, right? That's the green dotted line, 2024, and where we are now in early June. So what the hell do all of these levels mean? Well, first and foremost, the yellow box, the bigger yellow box out here, right? Squares for the elementary students. We are looking at potential wicks. Now, is this the absolute finite where I think they could go? No, this is just, again, my opinion and based on certain things, which we will address, like I said. So wicks, could we wick to the top and bottom? Could they wick outside of this? Of course, right? These are just generally where I think the most likelihood of these events will occur from now until the end of the year, right? So the wicks. Now, what the hell would I mean? Why would we look at wicks and not just, focus on prices? Well, the blue box inside here will be the closing prices. My best guess to the highs and lows. And you might say, is your lows really right there? Yes, and we'll address that momentarily as well. Then we'll get to this curve line. That is also quite important and why it's intersecting right at this level. Where do we want to start, right? The wicks, right? Why the wicks? Well, you can see this wick way down here, and you might be able to deduce why we put that red line there, right? And we also color-coded these lines for the lows here, right? For our support levels. Green, we're still good to go. Orange, we need to take caution. Red, it's do or die time. Right, so the wicks on the low, you can note that my wicks are just above that. We need to put in a higher low wick than that. If we don't, then we're playing with fire here. We don't want to be playing with fire, right? If we break this wick, I can't tell you how impactful that would likely be, right? We do not want to do that. And you might say, well, why would we want to close here, right? You can see this close. Why don't I have my closing box there? Again, we're going to get to that. It has to do with a lot of other information here, right? So, but if we come down here and we start to, even wick down here, right? This is where we start to get cautious. This orange line, right? These are the exact prices. I have this on magnet. If you want to know how to do that, just side note real quick. There's a magnet off to your left, right? See magnet mode? And you can get the exact prices, so you don't have to kind of wonder, or if it's like a few pennies off or a few dollars off. If you hit magnet mode, you can drag your lines and it'll go right to the wick or the closing candle. So this is the actual closing candle right here, that red candle. So 21,789. The wick is 19,568. Okay, so that is our lows. This again, the bottom of this box is why I stopped there, is because of that wick. Now to the tops. Why would I stop here? Well, generally the main reason is 40K, right? I think 40K is a big psychological level. I do not think we were going to see those prices this year. I'm not even confident that we'll get back to the 30s this year, but best case scenario to the highs, that would be it for me. That would also kind of sustain a higher low wick, or a lower high wick from this guy right here, 47K. I don't think we're going to see that this year. I mean, maybe early next year, right? But we're just talking about from here for the rest of the year. Okay, so closing prices, right? The blue box. So do I think we could really get up to closing price of 36K? And why the hell would I say that? Well, let's put on closing prices here, right? And here's our blue line, so we might as well do a blue box. Blue box, blue prices, closing prices, right? So why did I draw it here? Well, none other than this low right back here, right? That was basically our previous low before our biggest downfall in the bear cycle, right? So now we're in a new uptrend, and the usually the first sign, the best case is going to hit, somewhere in there. So that is the reasoning for that, for the closing prices. Now, could we see a wick and a close there? Right? Sure, right? The wick could go up to maybe like 39 or 40K, and then, we ended up closing right at 35K, something like that. That would make sense to me. These are all just the best case scenario, the odds for me, speculating out from here to the end of the year, right? Keep that in mind. All right, so for the lows, why in the hell did I stop way down here when I have my wick set way down here? Well, let's go look at how long these wicks can be. I mean, look at this wick, right? The closing price was at 22.2. The wick was at 19.5, right? That's a pretty significant move, and in both directions, right? So we could end up seeing something like that as a catalyst for our one final shakeout, theme that Bitcoin generally likes to do before reversing sharply the other way. So closing prices right here, it is high, right? It's very near where we are now, isn't it? In the grand scheme of things. So let's zoom in here a little bit. And if you can see, at least hopefully you're seeing why I put this green line here at 24.3, right? These closing prices, back to back. This is our breakout level, right? I mean, double tap, inverse head and shoulders played out right here. Right here's your neckline. Here's your shoulder. Here's your shoulder. Here's your head. And, kaboom, right? Back to the upside. That breakout level should be held on a bullish retest. So bullish retest starts to fail and break down if we start to close under our previous breakout zone, breakout area. And it's at 24.3 as your fail point, right? So if we close under that, then we have some concerns, right? We should not be doing that with closing prices, okay? It's not like Chase said it shouldn't go under 24.3 ever, right? No, wicks, right? This is why we're drawing wicks and closing prices. Closing weekly candles should not be closing under 24.3, right? We got that? All right. So to the upside, we got that. To the downside, we got that. Now we have to worry about what the hell this curve is. Why would I draw a curve? Is it just randomly? You should know that on this channel, nothing is random, and it's all with proof and evidence to back it up. So what the hell is it? If you got this one, kudos to you. You've been watching for a while. You'll get it in here in just a moment. The Gaussian channel on the weekly. This is, predicting out where I think this median line will go. Now, what's so important about the median line? Well, if you've watched any of my previous videos the past couple days, past week, right? The weekly Gaussian channel has never been closed back below the median line once we've closed above it, ever, except for, you guessed it, COVID, the pandemic, right? That was the only time, and it was brief. But so where are the odds? Well, the previous, decade plus of Bitcoin price action is on our side with this. That prices, look how many weeks, I mean, these are weekly candles, right? We've held above it, right? Even with wicks, held above it. We haven't wick below it, but we have wick below in previous times. So hence the wicks, low wick zones, right? They're lower than this. But closing prices, if we're, kind of drawing this out, right? I'm loosely kind of fitting this to where I think it would likely go. And bada bing, bada boom, if that's still a thing, not. 24.3, right? 24.3. Look at where the line looks to intersect here, right? 24.3-ish or thereabouts. It looks to me like it's trying to soften this downwards movement, right? So projecting that out, if this holds, right, it doesn't have to move up quite this fast. If it did, right, prices would likely be, up in the 30s plus. But, just treading water as we are now, or this chop area that we've been in for seemingly months now, even though prices can, go to 31K and then back to 25K, I do think this line will generally be right around 24.3 for the remainder of the summertime at least, right? And then maybe we start to move up towards the end of this year. But more or less sideways is the name of the game, right? In the grand scheme of things, right? If you zoomed out, right, this box is pretty much sideways, right? These aren't the bigger moves. And this is only for the next 6-7 months, right? So don't panic, right? This is where we are at the end of the year, 2024. I think much higher prices, later on down the line. We can do more videos like this if you like. Kind of fun to do, but again, relatively meaningless. And I hate when people try to predict out future prices to the exact dollar, giving, years ahead when you can't predict to the exact dollar what tomorrow is going to be. Okay. So this is, again, loose speculation, but fun to do at times. And I give my reasoning behind all of my, my predictions. And, that's what you should be doing. If someone's giving you a prediction and just saying, because, that's right for the birds, right? If you can show me something and then try to back it up with data, then I'm willing to listen, right? So this is my points, my wicks, my closes, and based on everything in the charts, not my opinion. So That is that, as they say. So let's get to a couple other things. How about the crypto fear and greed index? We haven't covered that in a while. I wanted to do an update on this. Let's get rid of that. So we're at 53. Now, note yesterday, 44, right? With that spook down with the Binance craps, right? That's where these update it closes. So that would have been, Monday close, right? After the Binance. And look at the little dip here, right? We got that dip after holding this line, right? So is this a head fake to the downside or a foreshadow of things to come? We don't know yet. But I mean, look back here, right? We have that previous dip. I would say this is a little bit more the head fake, right? But going from mid 20s to 19K relatively quickly, it kind of does that. Will spook the market. So are we going to do that again, or was this just the fake out and now we're going to just continuing chop sideways? Right? We don't know, but that is where we are now. We're back to our zone. This was certainly, will it be an anomaly, or is that the forecast of what's to come in the days ahead? So we will see. What else do we got? How about the altcoin season index? It's still Bitcoin season, as you can read in plain English. But we're at 10 now. We're at 4 for a while. So looking at the chart here, we're still hella low, right? So if this was flipped to the reverse side, it'd be like peak altcoin season. Alts be going crazy, but it's not. That's why your alts aren't doing shit, right? It's Bitcoin season. They're not supposed to do anything now, right? If you're wondering what the hell your alts are doing, this is the chart you need to be using. It's free. BlockchainCenter.net updates every day for free. I mean, or I check it all the time for free. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it for you, right? So we're at 10. Altcoins are going to remain stuck in the mud until we're at least above 25, okay? Once we do that, then they'll start breaking out of their shells, and then, Ninja Turtle time, okay? What else do we got? How about quote of the day? Where the hell is it? Car of the day first. Why not? Ferrari. Actually, let's get to our quote. We can't do it out of order. My OCD kicks in. All right. There are no shortcuts in evolution. Good one. Good quote. Sure. They're all good. I don't make them up. I just read them. All right. Now, car of the day. I wonder if you guessed this one. Surprise. It's an F1 car. I'm getting really into F1 over the past year to 2 years. Gotten really into it the past several months. Been really into it. Watch all the races on, mostly Sundays. Any other F1 fans, let me know in the comments. But, Ferrari, they're not my favorite team. I mean, Red Bull's cool. Max Verstappen's all right. Lewis Hamilton's probably my favorite, I guess. If I had to go with one. Mercedes. They're not doing that great. Obviously, McLaren's there too. I don't have any scale model cars yet of F1s. I need to get on the ball here. Father's Day is approaching. If anyone, as my wife is watching. So what's better than one is two. How about that? These look a little bit older though. I'm a little sketched out on this. Anybody expert in this? These look older to me. I don't know what the hell this is. They don't look like this anymore. Maybe this is a different time. I'm going to go with that. This looks much better, much more modern. We'll stick with this guy. All right, it's all in my rambles, and hopefully you liked the video. If you did, let me know that you liked it. I can keep doing that kind of stuff, right? Those are fun time to time. If you're still watching, you're probably a long-time subscriber, but in case you're not, join our Patreon group for more content. Free Telegram as well, Twitter free as well, right? Join us on all the different social medias, and we'll see you next time.